Welcome, Traveler. Today we're going to be generating 3 characters for my solo roleplay series, Fallout: Those Above. I have a lot more control with this series than I normally do. Typically, I create a character, think of a scenario, and just throw it all together. Whatever happens, happens. The dice decide which creatures show up, which events can happen, and interfere with anything that I could potentially plan. We're doing that different here. Typically with Those Above, I know which creatures can get involved. It's a rather small list based on the environment, and I have a general idea of what the environment can look like. I even know the characters and the antagonists that may or may not show up. This video is meant to alter any potential plans that I could have. These 3 characters can throw a wrench, some far worse than others, into the potential story that's going to show up. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we need to figure out the character's race, and that's where we can find the biggest problem in the story. I have a bias towards humans. I find them easier to play, easier to relate to. Dwarves, elves, all of those fantasy things, they don't vibe with me. Keep them away. You can have them. And I find that bias creeping into these characters when I decided, let's shake things up a bit, because I was going to make them human. To counter that, you'll see this table above. There is a 70% chance that the character we create is going to be human. Consider that my safe zone. Other than that, we have ghouls, robots, and synths. Synth is the one that I actually would really hope to create because the storytelling potential of suddenly finding out somebody you were friends with was a robot, oh, that would be great. I really like that whole body horror aspect of it. Even if you find out you're a synth, that'd be crazy. I digress. The other 2, robot and a ghoul, are gonna heavily throw a wrench into the story that we're going to tell. I know the starting point of the next episode. It does not have room for a ghoul or for a robot, so fitting them into the story convincingly is going to take some work, and it's a challenge that I'm vaguely interested in having to face just because it would be fun to deal with. Notice that the ghoul has a difference between fine and nearly feral. We are borrowing that from the Fallout show, where not so much that they're going to repeat their own name as they try to remember it, though with improv you never know, I might just blur that out and keep going with it. But in the fact that this person at any time might just turn and start attacking the team. It could be vicious, it could be deadly, it could ruin a scene or potentially uplift it. It would be a lot of fun to explore if it comes up. The serum that is in the show, the little, not jet to keep yourself from going feral, will be canon to Those Above, and I have a hard time imagining that they would have that serum there, so it would be really cool. Let's go ahead and get to the first roll. D100 on this table. What is showing up? The first character is human. Thank God. Next, we're going to figure out the character's sex. Even is male, odd is female. Here comes the roll. Female. Now we're going to go ahead and get an age. We are going to start with the base number of 18 and then roll D20 to add on to that. Here comes the roll, if I can find it. There it is. I was like, 2? That's not fun. Okay. So 18 plus 2 immediately makes it 20. With an 11, she is 31 years old. And if I got that wrong, call me an idiot in the comments. Someone's going to call me an idiot anyways, and it's going to make me wonder if I was actually wrong. We'll find out. Okay, after that, we need to get eye color. To get eye color, we're going to be looking towards D% Quick Character Description Generator from Black Falcon Games. This is a series of tables for quick character description generating. A very handy table. I go to it all the time. So, eye color. D100, you see it up above me. Here comes the roll. 68. Green eyes. Okay. We move on to hair color. It is going to be the same page, the same D% quick percept. Bro, I'm like stumbling over myself. I've had to re-record the introduction like 4 times because I couldn't get past the first sentence without choking. Why am I admitting that? Anyways, let's keep going. We are going to do hair color now from the D% quick character description generator. Same PDF as before. It is a D100. You see the table up above. Here comes the roll. 89. Platinum blonde. Okay, getting a general idea of what this character looks like now. Let's decide the hair traits from the same PDF. This is another D100. Again, directly above. Here comes the roll. 48. A ponytail. Moving on from the ponytail, we need to get a skin tone for this character. Once more, same page, same table. Here comes the roll. 87. Olive skin. The last physical descriptor for this character will be clothing. For that, we are going to be jumping to 50 clothing outfit sets for women. This table is created by Dave Woodrum of Fishwife Games. It is another D100 chart with 50 clothing outfits. I guess that's what it's described as, clothing outfits. What do we get? How is she dressed? D100, here it comes. 40. Floral print long sleeve top, dark blue casual pants, heeled leather sandals. How are you wearing heels in the environment that we're in? Oh, that's hilarious. Immediately she's going without shoes. Let me write that down real quick. With that finished, we are going to be jumping over to a custom table. This is a list of jobs found within the Fallout universe. Just to give you a brief idea of what it is a D40 table, so 2D20, involving things like NCR Ranger, Courier, Settler, Private Investigator, Town Guards, Thief, stuff like that. Just things that you can run into in the Fallout universe. So we're going to throw the 2 dice out there first before rolling, and we are going to go from there. Here comes the roll. 26. Oh, NCR Ranger. Oh, shit. Okay, so an NCR Ranger. I have a difference of NCR Trooper and Ranger. So this chick is fucking hardcore. Why are you wearing heels? What? Okay, that's a little weird. But she's gonna be a badass. That'll be cool. How were you caught? Oh, see, that's gonna be fun. For those interested, the one I would like to see is Raider. It would be very cool to have a Raider involved in this episode, and I would love to see how a hardcore badass Raider interacts with Eric. That would be really cool to see. Everyone else, not so much. They all have a point of like, I'm rough and gruff, but having just a Raider with Eric would be cool. I don't want to ascribe any details to a potential storyline, but I would like to see like a really tough Raider with the heart of gold that kind of takes a liking to Eric, very similar to Long John Silver from Treasure Island, because that would be fun to emulate, or throw a spin on, I guess I would say. With that, we are going to give this character 2 random traits. We will be looking to the Universal NPC Emulator. It's a personal favorite of mine, and there is a table on page 14 of the PDF that has a D100 table of NPC modifiers. We are going to roll 2 of them, and then based on those 2, I will decide a third one. So let's get the first modifier for this character. D100, here we go. 76. I've been playing Fallout 76 before bed lately. It's a lot more fun than I remember it being at launch. She is needy. You are an NCR Ranger that is needy. That's interesting. Immediately I want to add or just, start revolving around that. How did a needy person become an NCR Ranger? And my first thought was like, okay, she needs approval. But we still have another modifier to figure out. We'll see how that alters the character. Another D100. 44. Inexperienced? How are you inexperienced as an NCR Ranger? And needy. Okay. It doesn't work so well. I have a character for Dungeons & Dragons named Samantha, who was placed into a higher position, essentially becoming that world's version of an Inquisitor. But the truth is, she wasn't able to do it. She was not qualified for that job at all. She only got that job because her brother was in a leadership position there and was using it to kind of give her a cushioned life. It led to her getting involved in an apocalypse where eventually she grew and stepped up, and that's the first place my mind went to, but I don't want to retread a story that I've already done. We're keeping inexperienced. And needy. Damn, that is interesting. How do you become an NCR Ranger? Okay. Inexperienced and needy. Alter somewhat of Samantha's position. From my Dungeons & Dragons game. She's not an NCR Ranger, right? She's pretending to be an NCR Ranger. She's inexperienced. She doesn't have any reason for people to take her seriously, right? Maybe she's kind of young looking. Immediately, I guess I find myself going back towards Flora in Resident Evil Trinity, except Flora could back her shit up. This character can't. She's pretending to be an NCR Ranger. That's why she would be clueless enough to wear high heels or heels in general during an apocalyptic situation. So, we have needy and inexperienced. How can I add to that? Immediately I see the word neglectful, but I don't want to make this character completely negative. Conformist? I mean that sort of has a negative trait to it. Lively? Lively might work. She's not rational. Maybe cunning, right? You have to be somewhat smart enough to trick people into doing it. That might be an interesting way to do it. You can be a smart person, but not be very wise, right? Cunning in enough a way to get you through, to try to get people to believe in you. Anything else there I can see? Dependable doesn't make sense. She's not compliant. Inconsiderate? Maybe? We're gonna go with cunning. I just feel like that's probably the best one for her. She's inexperienced, but she relies on quick wits to get her through her situation. That's gonna be interesting. That's the third one I apply to. We need to get her a name, though. Let's do that real quick. To get a name, we are going to randomlists.com. I absolutely love this website and use it all the time to randomly create a character name. To get this character name, we are going to first roll a d6 for the amount of refreshes on the list, and then a d12 for the character's actual name. So here comes the d6. 4 refreshes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now here comes the actual name. D12. 4. 2 4s. Leslie. Kind of a mundane name for this character. She's gonna be fun to play around with. I think, again, I guess going back to Eric, he's gonna absolutely believe everything that she tells him. And he would look up to her if he gets paired with her. Because Ethan's talked about knowing an NCR Ranger. The NCR Ranger is the person that made Ethan so cautious. So if Eric meets the NCR Ranger, that's going to be an instant connection. Rebecca, maybe, not so much. I don't think there's really anybody Rebecca would outwardly look out to and look up to. It's so much in the fact that she would listen and want to get out. And then, I don't know if the NCR Ranger, Leslie, can bullshit her way past David. David himself is a sort of bullshitter, and seeing the interaction between those two, to see where he starts suspecting her, if he starts suspecting her, that's going to be fun. So Eric and David are the two that I would want to see this character interact with. Ethan, it would be fun to see how Ethan reacts. Ethan is not an NCR Ranger, never was, but because he was around an NCR Ranger, he knows how they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to act. And I think he would be offended by her stealing that valor. So if he is the one who figures out, hey, you're not a Ranger, that's going to be a fun scene to play out. I probably shouldn't be brainstorming how these characters can interact, but I've already done it. And I think it could potentially show you, like, maybe where we can take it. If you have a way that you think a character can interact or it would be fun, throw it down in the comments. Maybe we can see where that goes to. It would be cool. But we have a character name. Let's move on to the next character. So once more, we're going to be doing a character race. Again, I hope for human, slightly hope for synth. I don't want to see a robot. D100, where are we going? 71, that's not a human. It is a ghoul. Lovely. The one that's gonna be, oh, not the hardest robot. No, ghoul's probably harder. Yeah, ghoul, lovely, ghoul. That's gonna be interesting to try to finagle. Either way, are they feral or almost feral? Or fine or almost feral? We're gonna go with a D6. Even is fine, odd is almost feral. Fine. Okay, this person's not going nuts in this episode. I guess that's slightly less exciting, but still, we go with what the dice say. So now we need to do a sex roll. Even male, odd female. Female. Age is going to be difficult to do. Because you can't just do, 18 plus D20. Ghouls can be a lot younger or older. It's been about 200 years, right? We don't necessarily know if this character was around when the bombs dropped, but I guess we can deliver an age to decide that. So, immediately here's a D1... What did I click on? Immediately here's a D100. We will follow that up with a D10 and a percent roll. So the character can be a total of 200 years old, or I guess if that all rolled 4, 1. It's highly unlikely the character is going to be younger than 18 or something like that. So we'll see where it goes. I would be amazed if it was 4. I would lose my shit. Here comes the roll. 86 years old. Relatively young as far as ghouls go. Should we determine which age the character was turned? It has to be younger than 86. I can't really do an 86. I can just do another D100 with the chances of it going above 86. What, 15%? It would have to actually be a smaller number. Ghoul children don't age. You can't become a ghoul like, what, Bobby, I think, in the refrigerator, which I know is contentious among people who play the game, but it's still a precedent that has been set, and was in that refrigerator for 200 years. He didn't age. Okay. We will do base of 20 and 2d20 for an age, right? So it can be a total of 60 years old, which kick-ass killing ghoul granny is not a sentence I thought I would ever say, but I suddenly want that to fucking happen. All right. 60-year-old granny, come on. Do I want to add another d20? Fuck it, we ball. As my buddy would say. That's right, Adam, I'm quoting you in a video. Here we go. 20 plus 3d20. Here comes the roll. 47. She is 67 years old. We have our hardcore ghoul granny. That's gonna be fun to play around. What the hell am I doing, dude? That's one of those like random wild wasteland sort of things that happen, which is crazy because like those above is gonna get depressing real fast, like dark and gritty and violent, and people are gonna get maimed and torn apart. And we're gonna have just this dead ass. I'm gonna play it serious. I'm not even gonna make her a joke. I'm gonna make her dead ass serious in what she does. It's kind of similar to Lily, because I guess Lily was already there. Maybe that's where the idea came from New Vegas. Best game in the world, by the way. Nonetheless, we have kick-ass Ghoul Granny in the squad. Oh, that's interesting. Do ghouls get eye color? Do they all have the same? I actually don't know that. We're going to give her an eye color anyways, right? We're going back to D% quick character description generator, and let's give her an eye color. I'll look it up in the future after this video was done on whether we're actually going to say that she has an eye color or if it's just, I want to say it's all black for some reason, that ghouls just have black eyes. Here comes the roll D100 on the eye color table. 62. She has green eyes again. Okay, I mean, we go with it. Ghouls don't have hair. If they do, it's just small locks of it. But we are going to roll just for the sake of, if it comes up, the character can talk about like, yeah, I once had green hair. I'm not going to do the ghoul voice in the show because that would shred my throat fast. Here comes the roll. 23. Hair color is black. We will again roll for hair traits, another D100. Again, no hair, we're just going to say this was what the hair was if the conversation comes up. 35. Fool. What the hell does that mean? This may surprise you, but I'm not a hairstylist. Another thing I'll look up. I'm guessing it's just, immediately I thought of Nancy Hicks Gribble from King of the Hill. And now I'm wondering, it is. Her name had that hyphen between it. Because Nancy Hicks Gibble, there was an episode where she was trying to be on the school board and she was saying Pick Hicks. So that means that had to have been her last name, and Dale Gribble's wife has a hyphenated last name. But he doesn't, because he's just... Why am I talking about King of the Hill? It's just something random that I thought of. Like this video if you enjoy King of the Hill. I'm excited for the next series, the reboot. I'm a lot more excited for that than I thought I would be. What a fucking tangent. Ah, I'm leaving it in. Okay, skin tone. Do ghouls get a skin tone? We're gonna roll it anyways, but they're all just burnt crisps if I remember. Yeah, because Dean Domino was darker skinned and he still looked ghoul. It's the same as everybody else. Fuck Dean Domino, by the way. Great character. Let's go ahead and give her a skin trait. D100. 70. Yes. That is... Where are you at? Medium skin. As a ghoul, she is medium well. God damn it, I actually wrote medium well. What a fucking idiot. Okay. What comes next? Clothing. Once more, we jump to 50 clothing outset. My voice is gone. Once more, we jump to 50 clothing outfit sets for women, a Fishwife Games PDF. You'll find a link to every PDF that I use down in the description. D100, how is Granny dressed? 18. Brown suede vest over a long sleeve denim shirt, faded denim jeans, brown leather work boots. She's got style. Kind of reverse of what Ethan's wearing because he has the denim vest. He's not wearing suede. I don't know what that shirt is made of. Cotton, probably. But she does have the denim jeans, denim shirt. Bold strategy, bold move. But she has the sense, she's been around for a while, to wear boots instead of high heels. Let me write that down. Now we need to give her a job. Jumping back towards my custom table, let's see what it is. This is 2d20 for her job. Here it comes. 37. She's a gangster. Jesus Christ, she's a gangster granny. Why? Of all the things that we were rolling, what the fuck? How do I play that straight? The entire time I'm just gonna want to smile and smirk as she tries, like, to threaten motherfuckers. Oh man, okay. Okay. God, that's better than prostitute at least, but like, holy shit. I'm gonna cut you, Sonny. I can't give her a voice. If I give her a voice, I won't be able to do it straight. That's stupid as shit. God. We jump over to the NPC modifier table from the Universal NPC emulator, and I need a drink. Okay. Alright, we'll be serious. Delete these dice. We roll twice on this D100 table, and then I will come up with the third one for Gangster Granny. What am I doing with my life? I'm having fun. That's what I'm doing. D100 on the table. 14. Unsupportive. Fuck, that's too real. Okay. Here comes the next roll. 97. Unseemly. So what the fuck would that mean in this context? Because I immediately think of, like, you kind of look all torn and shredded, but that's probably not how it is. Not proper or appropriate. Great. Great, great, great. She is literally a gangster granny with a foul mouth who's not appropriate. Jesus God. Funny that both of her words, her descriptors, are un. She's not very supportive. She's kind of rude. What do we do to back that up? Dependable? Do we want to add dependable in there? She gets the job done? Lively? Lively might be fun. She's not generous. There's no way she's generous. Insensitive? Uneducated. Just go completely un. Elderly? Just so we give her the elderly voice? That'd be funny. I actually like dependable. I like the way that sounds. Like she knows what the fuck she's doing and you can be sure that she's gonna do it. That's how she survived this long. In my attempt to salvage this character, I'm immediately thinking to the ghoul in the Amazon show. He was shown to be a somewhat decent guy. The apocalypse happened, and now he's a complete fucking prick. Right? This woman was 67 years old when she became a ghoul. There's a lot of room there. Actually, she wouldn't have been born before the apocalypse. She's only been a ghoul for 86 years. She grew up in the apocalypse. She knew what the fuck was happening. So, taking that twist on it, maybe she was a gangster beforehand. She lived long enough. You know, she became an OG. Maybe she got her wish. You know, you get old enough, you think, I should have done things differently. If I was young again, I could do this. If I had a second chance, I would do it better. You become a ghoul, all right? For the sake of her being an active part of the story, we are going to say that she is able to move about like a ghoul, right? You may be old, but it's sort of a second chance at life, even if you're a second-class citizen. And maybe it's that being treated as a second-class citizen that makes her fall back into being a gangster. It makes her unsupportive and unseemly. Maybe she grew up, as she aged, she became better. She grew out of it. I'm thinking like the type of person that gets out of gang life and starts telling younger kids, hey, you shouldn't be a gangster. But then being treated poorly after becoming a ghoul, after getting her second chance, that's what makes her unsupportive and unseemly. She gets her second chance, and she fumbles it. She drops back into that lifestyle because she couldn't break away. I think that's the way we're going to portray this character, just because it's going to be very easy to make this one a joke, right? You know, just a non-stop play of the Wild Wasteland trait song or jingle. But if we play it that way, maybe I can find a little bit more serious character in there. I think that's the way we will handle it. Nonetheless, we jump to character name. Once more to randomlists.com. Clear out the dice. We are going to do the same D6 reroll and then refreshes and then the actual character name. So here comes the roll. 6. That didn't even try to roll, but we're going with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. D12 to get the actual name. Here it comes. 10. Willow. I like that name. Kind of fits. So far, we have interesting additions to the story. We have Leslie, the fake NCR Ranger who desperately needs approval, but isn't capable of getting it. And then we have Willow, the ghoul who desperately wanted a second chance at life, got it, and is making these same mistakes over again. It's going to be interesting to see how they play along with our cast. I'm actually a lot more interested in seeing how Willow's going to act once we get her in the story. Let's get our final character. Once more, we are jumping up to the race table. And here we go. D100. Please not a robot. Another ghoul. Duplicates are not as interesting and not as fun. But we got it. We will go with it. You know, that's part of the storyline. Maybe this one can be the ghoul that's almost feral. Okay, written down. Even, fine, odd, almost feral. Come on, odd. Yes! Alright. An almost feral ghoul. How are we going to play it out? My immediate thought is D whatever questions within the episode and then the character turns, but I don't want it to be something small. Maybe it'll be higher, and it'll just have to be like a ticking time bomb in the back of the mind. Every time we ask a question, it counts down from something like 100. It's not going to be 100, but like, I think that's the best way to settle it. We can get to know this character and get through the episode, and we might even be able to get through all of that character's appearance without them ghouling out. That would be cool. See if we can save someone. I would like that, actually. Even male, odd female. Another female. Cool. And then we got to do an age. How do we do it last time? We did 2D100 for the age, right? Or, yeah, the age of the ghoul. Because this one could be all the way from the... I lost... all the way from when the bombs dropped. Isn't it? No, it's like 280 something. Like 220, 2000 something. I don't know. We're going to go with it. Here comes the roll. 109. Slightly older than the granny. What age did this person become a ghoul? We will do 20 plus the 2 20s that we are originally going to do. We are actually going to remove one of the 20s just so we have a difference between the two characters. We don't want them to be entirely the same. So here comes the roll. This character is 37 years old. Was 37 years old when she became a ghoul. With that determined, we will be jumping to the eye color portion of D% Quick Character Description Generator. D100, here we go. 44. This character has gray eyes, or had. Now we get a hair color. 88. Another platinum blonde. Ooh. Maybe we can get some tension between her and Leslie if they ever meet. Oh, that might be fun. Because I can see, we don't know how this character is. We don't know the character's traits or personality. But I can easily see like a ghoul being angry over the fact that there is a relatively young, woman right here with with hair similar to her, who's just throwing her life away by pretending to be something else. Depending on the job that this character has, that could be really interesting to see, and some aggression and animality right inside there. We'll see how that comes out. From now, we go from hair color to hairstyle. So another D100. Here we go. 69. She had slicked hair. Platinum blonde slick hair. This is just the ghoul version of Albert Wesker. We move to skin tone. D100. 5. I thought it was albino for a second. No, skin tone is just black tone. Okay. From there we go to clothing. So once more, 50 clothing outfit sets for women. Dave Woodrum, Fishwife Games. Another D100 roll. Here it comes. 67. A pale pink hoodie over a white tank top, faded black denim jeans, and dirty white basketball shoes. I was going to say, did I read the right one? Yes, I did. Let me write that down. Everybody's got jeans today. The tank top jeans combo, vaguely similar to Miranda. Pink hoodie. Not my style, but some people, right? Moving on from clothing to the character's job. This is where things could potentially get interesting with her interactions between her and Leslie. Because apparently that's the character I just kind of paired her with. We look to this 2d20 on the table. Here it comes. 13. She's an NCR soldier. I swear to God, I didn't plan that out at all. Oh, shit. Fuck, that's going to be interesting. Can ghouls be NCR? No. At least I don't think so, right? You have Searchlight, I think. That guy was a ghoul and he didn't want to go see his buddies, and I don't think any of the ghouls were there. I'll have to look into it. But maybe she was a former NCR soldier. Fuck, that's going to be interesting to play with. Okay, all right. Sometimes things just fucking work out. That's going to be cool. Fuck, all of these characters are going to have an interesting interaction with each other. If the pin ever drops, this Leslie character is going to have our new ghoul character and Ethan immediately not cool with it. And we don't even know how this ghoul is going to react. She might be a stone cold bitch who will immediately go for the throat. Ethan is not the type to just go and pull hands immediately and start to try to kill or hurt someone, but he's not going to be cool with it. Fuck, I kind of want them to develop a rapport with each other. And then he's like, wait, you're not NCR. That would be cool, but we don't want to just guarantee something happening. But having an NCR trooper here, or at least a former trooper, fuck, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool as shit. We need to give her some traits. I'm hoping for something aggressive here, because that would be cool to play with. I need a drink. Hold on. Okay. We are jumping back to the Universal NPC emulator. 2D100 for 2 separate traits, and then I will decide the third one. Clear out these dice. Here comes the roll. D100. 97. Unseemly. We already had unseemly. We already do. We're not gonna take it off. Kind of stereotypical that both ghouls are unseemly. But we'll see what the other modifier is. 72. That didn't really roll very well. Despondent. Now, if I remember correctly, despondent is just a variation of the word, like, kind of distant. She doesn't want to respond. Feeling or showing extreme discouragement, dejection, or depression. Okay. How do we... That feels like she's feeling sad and over... I don't want to get into it because of, she's feeling saddened over how the next episode is going to begin, but I know how I can do that, actually. It's a simple one. Hashtag spoilers. I don't want to talk about it right now. I'll put it in a comment in the video, the third episode when it drops, I'll put it in a comment to explain what I thought of right here. Hopefully I remember. Let's decide the third trait now. There's a lot of places we can go with that. Unseemly, despondent. Immediately I want to say she's unseemly because she's despondent at the current moment, but that makes all of her traits be anchored to the position that we find her in, and that doesn't leave much to be prior development. Though this can be a sort of I don't know the actual term. I know it, I just can't remember it. A sort of funneling point, right? We can be meeting this character at the point where something deeply changes within her and she becomes a new type of person. So we don't necessarily have to know who she was before, and we do go in with this character being a sort of blank slate. And I kind of like that because not only is it just a random introduction of a character, but who she is still isn't defined. And we don't just define it with a role or with a question. We define it with a series of roles and a series of questions. Who she is still being figured out. And I like that idea. But I'm going to alter it by giving her one solid point. Because change doesn't matter if you don't know what's being changed. Right? So we have to know at least one point of her that can be altered. And the other two will change later on in the story. We replace unseemly and despondent with new descriptors based on what happens to her. This character is also on the verge of going feral. Maybe that's why she's despondent, actually. That's a new form, a new way to take it. God, there are so many ways we can go. Okay. Let me look at the descriptors here. We know that she was an NCR soldier. Do we want to say... I don't want to say dutiful. That sounds too boring and too generic. You're a soldier, so automatically you're dutiful. Compliant? Is compliant the way we want to take it? But then we go into the softer character that immediately becomes a badass, which is partially how I imagined Eric's story going from the young scared child to being this hardcore big ass adult. If we get there, I don't want to retread potential ground because Eric is a main character. This ghoul character may not live long enough for it to matter. Helpful, habitual. I do like idealistic. That feels interesting enough. I have been wanting to go with lively, but that would be hard to square around with the other two. I think we will go with idealistic. That seems like the way. Because if you're idealistic, then you go into despondent and unseemly. You can have that idealism crushed out of you, and that is a clear change. So even though she's despondent, there's still, at least for now, that part of her that thinks, we can deal with this, we can do this. And maybe that's going to push her to fight on to the very end, dealing with her becoming feral. I think that's the way we're going to take it. We need to give this character a name. Okay, here it comes. D6 for page refreshes. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then D12 for the actual name. Here it comes. 12. I'm sorry, what? Xiomara? Xiomara? Xiomara. 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 Okay. Xiomara. So Xio. Okay. Xiomara. Okay, Xiomara. I'm just repeating this to myself and I'm listening to a video off screen. Okay. And there are the 3 characters that are going to pop up in the next episode. I'll have to figure out where they can be properly inserted, and other than the speculation that I've done within this video, I'm not going to give them any thought. We will introduce them, and see where they go from there. If you have any input for these characters, go ahead and drop that in the comment section, and we will include it. We will see where we can take it, mix it into the storyline, and further adjust where we go, where Ethan's story is going to go. It's all going to pop off in the next episode. It's going to take the downturn. My second episode was more of a joke and more of a fun to try to uplift that spirit, because starting with episode 3, it is nothing but downhill. Those of you familiar with other worlds' stories and games, we get dark and we get dark fast. I hope to see you there. Until then, I'll be in other worlds.